Thank you for listening to the Golden Hour Drip podcast with me, Logan Lee Miller. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Golden Hour Drip podcast. I'm your host, Logan Lee Miller. And you know what I kind of absolutely positively love? I love it when you make friends. I'm sorry. No, I love it when we make friends, but I love it when you make plans with a friend and you're excited, right? Like, I made plans with my friend this week and I was looking forward to it, to be honest. But then, the week hit and I was like, man, I'm not feeling as good or as motivated as I was earlier in this week when we originally made plans. And that friend sends you a little text and they go, hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to work late. Can we reschedule? Abso-freaking-lutely. I would love to reschedule. I just find okay, we were supposed to get bad weather this evening, like hail. Garrett, my husband, he's a little worried. We actually moved his project pickup to a shed because he's scared it's going to get hailed on. I have to take my vehicle to the shop to get an oil change. And I'm hoping that the storm, one, I hope we don't get hail, but two, I hope the storm stays more close to, the east than coming west. No, I'm sorry. Stays more to the west than coming east. Because I don't want my vehicle to get hail damage. That would be unfortunate. But we're kind of expecting this rainy weather and the temperature outside is that humid kind of feeling. And I feel like there's rain in the air. Okay. And I'm really wanting to stay cozy on the couch. And it's kind of this beautiful combination of things just coming into alignment. So I made friends. I keep saying that. Oh my gosh. I made plans with my friend to go have supper tonight. Right. And we're needing to reschedule. Perfectly great. Perfectly okay. And I was like, all right, I'll have an evening with Garrett. And then he got pulled away as well. He is going to have to be he is working late somewhere. He won't be at home. And I'm truly excited because that means I get to watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I talked about it extensively on the Monday episode. I'm also sorry. Our internet has been haywire and it is taking over 24 hours to load a YouTube video up. And I'm not sure if this episode, when it comes out, if the Monday episode is up yet. It literally has been so heinous. But on top of that, it's completely out of focus. And I don't even know if we're in focus right now, to be honest. If we're not, I apologize. I don't know. I have astigmatism in my eyes. So sometimes with the stage lights and then trying to look at the camera, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So I apologize. That is unfortunate. But I have been really trying to savor the slow moments. I don't know. September, I feel my focus has been so direct and pinpointed to certain things that I'm working really, really hard on. And so everything else is not the focus. And with the balance of, okay, we have big projects that we're working on. I need to be laser focused. I need to be so diligent in getting this completed, getting this done, that I have a hard cutoff time because I feel my brain needs to be utilized in certain areas and I cannot be bothered with the other things. So much so, again, one of my goals for September was shutting everything down at 6:30. Okay. Phone, laptop, computer, phone and laptop and computer and laptop are the same thing. I meant iPad. But shutting those down. And yesterday, I hate it when you have an idea and then it puts so much pressure on yourself that you have to do it. So yesterday I was really just on the ball, doing so many things that I didn't go on my walk over my lunch break. Usually I get outside, and I didn't do that. And so I was telling myself, I was like, I have been on my computer since 6 a.m. I need to put it down. I need to touch grass, essentially. And I asked Garrett, I was like, hey, like, do you want to go for a 4-wheeler ride? Went to my grandparents' home and kind of just like rode around. And that was so fun. And I realized that the days are starting to get shorter. Like the sun is going down. But if you are a longtime listener to the Golden Hour Drip podcast, you know where the name originated. And that was at my grandparents' farm. And so at the very top of the like crest of the hill, like when you look down, like the sun will start to set, and the sun was setting, and it was so beautiful and so magical. And I was just reminded on, you know, my perfect, retirement isn't the right word because I love to work. But my perfect like life is going to end up where I have those leisurely mornings and those nice evenings where I'm able to watch the sunset. And I'm outside, I'm in nature. And it was just like kind of this pivotal thing that we don't have to wait to experience the things that we're wanting to experience, right? Like when we think about retirement, because I know that's like the focus of a lot of people. Like when I retire, I'll take that trip. When I, you know, my kids are out of school, graduated or whatever, then I'll have time to, you know, focus on my business or focus on this. And I realized like what would it all be for if I was working so hard to like, if I were going to waste these years, I would put the focus on like working 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., right? Like when you're working your life away and you don't take the time to appreciate what you have, or even like a variation of what you're after. For myself, like I want to be able to wake up without an alarm clock. Okay. Seriously, I don't know what it is, but when my alarm clock goes off, I love the privilege of being able to snooze it and sleep in. I feel like growing up and having the alarm clock right before school, like to be able to snooze it and sleep in, like that is it's such a delicious, good feeling. And I know a lot of researchers say like when your alarm goes off, get up, like it's worse sleep when you sleep after. I get that. I totally do. But to me, it is so nice to be able to, you know, snooze it and get up 15 minutes later and then make my coffee and go outside. That to me is like my perfect life. That's what I want. So if that's what I want, then why, like, I do believe in working hard. I do believe on chasing your dreams and being able to like have this success to get the things that you want. But if your end goal, maybe it's to buy a boat and have a boat and go to the lake, and you want like a nice boat, but you could be going to the lake in a more affordable boat instead of like, oh, I want this like super, super nice boat and having this huge boat payment. And then you're going to have to like pick up more hours at work to make the boat payment to where like you don't even have time to go to the lake with your boat. Does that make sense? Like I was just so hit with the realization that what you want is closer than what you think it is. And if you can have any sort of variety of what you want, then you're kind of already starting to like live your dream life instead of this like waiting period. Like, oh my gosh, I have to wait until I'm 65 or 66. What is it for Social Security? Whatever it is, right? Like people always have this like, when I'm 60, when I'm 50, when I'm older, when I have more money. And to me, I'm just like getting settled into this mindset of how can I start like living my dreams right now? How can I start doing the things that make me happy right now? Because we will fill the time. I believe in one of my very early episodes, I did a podcast about, I think it's Newton's law, or Isaac Newton, obviously. No, there's this law, and it is whatever the time you assign that thing, that's how long it's going to take you to achieve it. So if you say I have a month to write a book, 1 month, I'm going to dedicate this time, 1 month, I need to write this book. You'll get it done in the month. Hey, I hope that you're enjoying today's podcast episode. Just a quick interruption to let you know that the Golden Hour Drip podcast has a monthly newsletter. You'll find podcast updates, upcoming events and information, and bonus content. If you haven't already, click the link in the show notes and join today. Now, back to the show. In comparison to say, oh, hopefully one day I'll get my book done. Like, one day is always tomorrow, right? And so if you assign a time to it, then like you're able to achieve that or do that quicker. So if you think, oh, like when I'm 35, I'll, start my bakery, or when when my kids are out of school, or when I'm no longer the main caretaker, or whenever like I have a better job or more money or any of those things, like that is seriously just like cheese on a string in comparison to like, how can I start doing this right now? Like, how can I achieve this, what I want to do right now? If it's a boat, right? Like, how can I afford the boat as soon as possible and like not have to take on too many more responsibilities to take away from like going boating, right? And as I was thinking, I was like, man, like sometimes the consumption or the overconsumption is the word. I was going to say abundance, but it's not abundance. Like consumerism, or like consuming or wanting like so much more, then you have to really ask yourself, like, what is your actual dream? What is your actual priority? Because all the other things might just be noise keeping you from like that goal, right? Like the cheese on the stick. And so if you're thinking, oh gosh, like I don't need that next promotion, I can instead just like cut down on my spending habits to be able to like go on that trip. Right? Like I just fully believe that you're able to start incorporating your dream life right now, and you don't have to change anything else. Like you don't have to have more money. You don't have to have more time. It's finding the time that you already have and utilizing it better and doing something greater with it. Because essentially when I first started this podcast, I wanted, of course, like as you age, you want different things. But at that time I was like, man, I would love to be like, talk to myself or be at home constantly. Like I didn't want a regular, like go to work job. And like I was able to achieve what I wanted so much quicker than if I would have just kept the mentality of like someone else's dream or someone else's expectations of me. Instead, like I just started to incorporate what I wanted right now. And of course, giving space for those things. I know that there's times where you're unable to get what you want right now. And you do have to like make shifts. You do have to have those hard conversations or, have those sacrifices. And like, that's not to take away from any of the other things, but I guess I was just like so grateful for this, like the focus, but also like the relaxation of the focus. I think working hard is important, but if you can focus that time to that 4-hour block, or maybe it's your 8-hour workday, right? Like if you can focus the time for those 8 hours, and then after, if you can somehow turn the switch in your brain where you're no longer thinking about work, but able to actually like truly live your life and finding what is actually important to you, and then trying to do more of that. Because when we are veering towards burnout, or when we are just kind of over our situation. It could be a job that we prayed for. It could be, an opportunity or a place that we wanted so bad. And then when we get it, we're like, oh, heck, like this is a lot more of what I had before. Like still expectations, still work, still doing things. And it's when we are not doing enough of the things that fill us up, or not doing enough of the things that really fuels us and fuels our purpose, or gives us the part of our dream life, what we're wishing for, what we're wanting. And for me, that's like having the ability to watch a show on my couch on a random weekday. And I just feel like things have came to alignment for me today, right? Like, but if I had like a lot of work to do, or if I wasn't managing my focus when I needed to be focusing, I feel like sometimes my cell phone can take away from so much. Like I think, oh gosh, like I'm going to post something on the Golden Gal Network, and then I scroll, or I like get up caught doing something else. I'm like, what the heck? Why did I even pick up my phone? And it's like the distraction. And I have just been trying to eliminate the distractions, giving that like super, super focused energy, so that when I do have the time off, when I do have an evening, I can have a little bit of my dream life. I can not be so overworked, I guess. Not that I'm overworked, but I think we all have like energy fatigue at times, where it's like, gosh, like I'm constantly working on this thing. I don't have enough time for myself. And it's the simple pleasures, the simple joys in life that mean so much. And if you can find a way to incorporate those little mini breaks throughout your day, right? Like those mini dopamine hits, whatever is like part of your dream life, whatever you love. Mine is having a coffee in the morning, going for a walk over my lunch break. I've been very much into the beverages like for the last couple of years. I think we all have, honestly, but like getting my Spindrift with like my little glass straw and cozying up, after work, or like whatever makes you go, whatever makes you so happy. How can you focus your time so that you can get what you need to get done so you can enjoy the rest of your time? I don't know. I was definitely raised where it's work first and then play. Like I think I was just talking to my friend the other day. I was like, I don't mind Hulu commercials, because Hulu commercials mean it's like 2 minutes or something like that. That means that I can get up, I can switch laundry, I can, work on our house, do those things, scroll on my phone quick, and then like back to the TV show or whatever I'm watching. And I fully believe it's because like my mom growing up, like on the weekends, if we were watching a show, like we also had like focus to do other things. So in between episodes, it'd be like, okay, like clean your room while you're waiting on the next one, or take 10 minutes to tidy something up, or wash a cabinet or whatever. And I truly believe like that's how I am now. Like it's focus on the things that you need to focus on, so that when it's time to play, when it's time to relax, you're able to relax, and it fills your cup in a way that you are more motivated and more excited to do the other things. So I don't know. I just feel like you can start incorporating little bits of, let's just like romanticizing your life. Really and truly, it's romanticizing the parts to expand them and make them more of the focus, than to think, oh my gosh, like my job takes 8 hours of my day, or even more. Like some people, they work like different shifts, different things. And if you're able to just like, it's when your time is being diluted, or your focus is being diluted, or it's like spread out and you're busy, but you're actually not achieving anything. That's where it's like, oh gosh, like you're spinning your wheels and you're never actually taking the time to enjoy the thing. So I don't know. I fully believe on trying to get done what needs to be done in the time it needs to be gotten done. I read the book 4 Hour Work Week probably a couple summers ago, and while that's like a super crazy book, I do love a lot of the analogies and tips that it has. So if you haven't already, I would definitely read the 4 Hour Work Week. Personally, I need to probably pull it out and, refresh my brain on it, because you can get so much done in the time that you give it. And we usually just overinflate the time because we think it's going to take more time, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. So thank you so much for watching or listening to this week's podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. And make sure you rate, review, subscribe, all of the things. I promise our videos will get up in a timely fashion, whatever. Okay, that's it.